enough for our monitoring, they didn't want to pay for a new well. So that was actually deducted off that grant originally. So
Yeah, they cut the driveway a third.
yeah, so just you know, we're just going slow. We're gonna continue to monitor with the state until someday, if ever, they decide they're not going to. But I just wanted to address Mrs. McCain's.
Okay, thank you. Okay, come on up.
Craig into the Lack Department. Our local NRCS has been monitoring ag wells here locally for 40+ years, and that information's available. I'll try to get Galen the information hooked up to Scott Phillips. He's the engineering tech that's doing the monitoring now. And at least, I mean, there's some data available for 40+ years of ag wells around here, and I don't know how far out of the Honey Lake Valley it goes, but that information's current and it's available.
Thank you. Okay, if, before we bring it back to the board, is there anyone else from the public that'd like to comment on this item? Okay, we'll bring it back to the board for action. So, again, it's item G4, we're looking for a motion.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second it.
All right, so it's been moved and seconded. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Me. Okay, chair votes aye. Motion passes with Supervisor Calvo opposing. Okay, I'd like to quickly move over to our 10 o'clock time certain. I apologize. We're running a little behind. This will be the Title III funding reports on the Spalding Community Service District and the Janesville Town Council.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Just information for the board, and the administration office has filed a report with the Forest Service on the status of the Title III funding. The most important thing is the question they're asking on there this year was a new question. Has the county obligated all the funds they should have by September 30th? And we were able to say yes. I do want to thank Austin Minert from the Janesville Town Council and Chris Gallagher from Spalding Community Services District for taking the time to be here to update the board on the status of their projects and to have the opportunity to answer any questions that the board may have.
Thank you. Okay, this item is as Julie said, just to receive the report. So, if first I'll call up, I see Chris in the audience here. If you want to come up and give anything to add, thanks.
Not sure I have anything to add, but it's kind of interesting that this came after a discussion about water with Eagle Lake being as low as it is this year. We have signed a contract with the Firewise Council, and they have a budget for that particular $7,000 that we asked for. And so with that, they're going to do the community assessment, the Firewise recognition assistance. They're going to assist us with treating vegetation within 200 feet of the various homes in Spalding. And also, as we did last year, we're going to have a needle cleanup week, again, like we did this past year. In fact, that was extremely successful. I think we took out over 300 yards of pine needles from around the residences in Spalding. So that was a great success. We're going to try to redo that again.
Where did that go to?
Went to the landfill in their, I think they were doing in the vegetation that they collect.
The green waste.
The green waste, right, yeah. And so that's about all I have. If you have any questions.
Just I'd like to say thanks for your
Yeah.
efforts. Thank you.
All right.
Good seeing you.
Just be glad you don't live in the Tahoe Basin, Chris, because they wouldn't let you clean up the pine needles.
Yeah. They just want more fire.
Austin, Minor, do you have anything you'd like to say? You always have something.
Mr. Chairman, supervisors. Yeah, I just like Chris said, I mean, having a discussion about water, that's a topic that's been coming up lately at the coffee shop. I mean, it's, the winter that we're seeing is quite scary. And of course, when we look at the coming summer and the fire season, we're quite concerned. I've had opportunities to talk with Chip Jackson, former OES chairman, chief, and we've looked at some scenarios for the escarpment between Susanville and Milford and Doyle, and it's not pretty. And I think what we're looking at this year is probably the worst case scenario. So the small little bit of funds here is, to me, it's kind of a drop in the bucket, and all we can do is apply them the best we can and try to get as much added value out of the awareness within the communities. And that's what we intend to do. We were fortunate that when I met with the Lassen County Fire Safety Council, I got a chance to meet with Lloyd Kiefer came to the meeting, and of course, we certainly like to tap into his expertise. In fact, he was the one that put together the Janesville Fire Safe Plan that began the process of doing work on private owners' land. This year, the focus on total ignition zone and fuel treatments. Again, it comes down to public awareness, and what we hope to do is work with the media, work with the local schools, make some presentations, and just really get as much awareness out there as we can, because that's all we have. The amount that it costs to treat an acre is incredible, and it just never seems to be enough. I think that the escarpment, it's probably the closest possible location to get fuel out to the Honey Lake Valley Power Plant. We'd certainly like to see if we could tap into that. I'm happy with, what Chris has done out there, collecting, material. I don't know why we couldn't get a better program so that, homeowners could collect material, and that material could end up at the power plant as well. So we're going to be looking at some options at our next board meeting. And again, I'd like to thank you for this assistance. And of course, what I wrote here is that Tom Escade is, we're anticipating the Milford area receiving some Title III funds, and that's what Tom's looking at, is that he can work these projects together, the Janesville and the Milford fuel treatments, for added and mutual benefit. So that's what we foresee right now. And of course, beginning this spring, he's currently identifying homeowners and their treatments. So, any questions?
Thank you. Thanks for the report.
Okay. Thank you again.
Mr. Chair. Julie, you still there? There you are. Is Milford, they put in for any Title III funds? What's,
We have a public comment, I believe, March 11th,
okay.
set, and it's been noticed in the paper.
Oh, okay, excellent.
Yeah, and that's for the money that was allocated, the board just recently allocated. We haven't received those funds yet.
Okay. Thank you.
Mr. Chair. Just want to bring up one thing. I'm glad Austin brought it up. The awareness is going to be really important this particular summer, especially at Eagle Lake with the visitors that come to the lake. I don't know if you saw the report by Doc Bateson this past week about how much rain we've had here. Well, we've only had 1 inch since July of last year up at Eagle Lake. And so that place is a tinderbox. So we're going to have to be very, very careful with people visiting Lassen County coming up into that area to keep those fires from happening. We're seeing fires already in January, which is just incredible. And we're really afraid of what the possibilities are at Spalding with the forest being so close to the community and what could happen if that occurs. So the awareness is going to be ultra important, especially this coming season, if we're going to have any fishermen up there. I'm not sure. It's so low already. So that I just wanted to reiterate that. I think it's something that we need to keep saying throughout the year.
Right.
Thank you.
Anyone else have anything to add on this item before we move on? Okay, this was, like I said, just a received report, so we have scheduled a 10:25 recess, if any staff needs it, or should we just go into the receive? Okay, let's take a quick recess, and then we'll come back with our 10:15 public hearing, planning and building services on code enforcement.
see that.
Pan, you got
I told you the wrong way.
How are you this morning?